Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Friends, before going into the details of the war, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. Please support by subscribing and turning on the notification bell. We are a strong community. Power blackouts across Ukraine amid Russian shelling. Ukraine's state electricity operator on Saturday announced regular scheduled blackouts in Kyiv and 7 other regions of the country in the aftermath of Russia's devastating strikes on energy infrastructure. The move comes as Russian forces continue to pound Ukrainian cities and villages with missiles and drones, inflicting damage on power plants, water supplies and other civilian targets, in a grinding war that is nearing its 9-month mark. Russia has denied that the drones it has used in Ukraine came from Iran, but the Islamic Republic's foreign minister on Saturday for the first time acknowledged supplying Moscow with a limited number of drones before the invasion. Hossein Amirabdollahian claimed, however, that Tehran didn't know if its drones were used against Ukraine and stated Iran's commitment to stopping the conflict. Ukrenergo, the sole operator of Ukraine's high-voltage transmission lines, said in an online statement Saturday that scheduled blackouts will take place in the capital and the greater Kyiv region, as well as several regions around it: Chernihiv, Cherkasy, Zhytomyr, Sumy, Poltava and Kharkiv. The outages for certain groups of consumers will occur daily, in accordance with a specific schedule drawn up by operators of distribution networks for each region, the statement said. The outages are expected to last for 6 and more hours each day. Ukraine has been grappling with power outages and disruption of water supplies since Russia started unleashing massive barrages of missile and drone strikes on the country's energy infrastructure last month. Moscow has said those came in response to what it alleged were Ukrainian attacks on Crimea, the region that Russia illegally annexed in 2014. Ukraine has denied those allegations. Meanwhile, Russian shelling of Ukrainian regions continued into the early hours of Saturday. About 40 shells were fired overnight at the city of Nikopol, Dnipropetrovsk. Governor Valentin Reznichenko said on Telegram. The Russian forces targeted the city and the areas around it from heavy artillery. 2 fires broke out, and more than a dozen of residential and utility buildings, as well as a gas pipeline, were damaged, the official said. Elsewhere in the region, the Ukrainian forces shot down a drone and another projectile, according to Reznichenko. In the southern Mykolaiv region, the overnight shelling of rural areas damaged several houses, but didn't cause any casualties, Mykolaiv Governor Vitaly Kim said on Telegram. The Russian forces also fired missiles at the southeastern Zaporizhia region, which has been illegally annexed by Moscow and large parts of which remain occupied. According to regional governor Alexander Starik, the attack took place shortly after midnight and damaged buildings of 3 businesses, as well as a number of cars. In the eastern Donetsk region, also annexed and partially occupied by Russia, 8 cities and villages have been shelled, including Bakhmut, Avdiivka and Pokrovsk. According to Ukraine's presidential office, at least 3 civilians were killed and 8 others were wounded over the past 24 hours by Russian shelling of 9 Ukrainian regions, where drones, missiles and heavy artillery were used. In the Russian-occupied Kherson region, where a Ukrainian counteroffensive is underway, the Russian military continue to abduct local residents, the presidential office said, with the most recent cases taking place over the past 24 hours. At least 458 Russian prisoners recruited for war by PCM Wagner died in Ukraine and received medals. The Insider. In total, by mid-October, the Russian private military company, PCM Wagner, which recruited prisoners for war in Ukraine, informed relatives of the deaths of at least 458 convicts. At the same time, according to the Important Stories estimates, the PMC led by Putin's close confidant Yuri Prigozhin, had recruited nearly 6,000 prisoners by the end of September, and at least 2,036 of them had been transported to the front line by that time. It means that the Ukrainian armed forces eliminated about a quarter of the Russian criminals who made it to the front. Between September 18 and October 13, the Ukrainian Center for Researching and Combating Hybrid Threats discovered and verified more than 200 letters signed by Andrei Troshev, one of the leaders of the Wagner PMC, with condolences to the families of Prigozhin mercenaries recruited in Russian penal colonies. The letters are accompanied by a posthumous Medal of Honor, and the documents themselves, as published on social media by relatives, are accurately numbered, which helps us estimate their quantity. The insider at war with a song. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko may be looking forward to his country's annual song festival, but Russia has persuaded Belarus to take a more active part in the war against Ukraine, and the aggressors must focus on a new enemy: Ukrainian songs. Belarus is about to start the qualifying stages of the Slaviansky Bazaar Festival, an international song contest, established in 1992, that brings together one-time Soviet countries to celebrate Slavic music. Despite the lack of harmony in the region, the festival is scheduled to go ahead in July next year at its usual location of Vitebsk in Belarus. The first round of the competition began on November 1 and will end on December 15. While Belarus is selecting some good tunes, it is also sending trainloads of ammunition and armored personnel carriers to assault Ukraine. Large numbers of mobilized Russian soldiers are also going to Belarus, but not, I fear, to take part in the song competition. In fact, despite President Lukashenko's enthusiasm for the event, the Slaviansky Bazaar may not take place at all in 2023. Political leaders from fraternal countries, including Vladimir Putin, may have blessed the festival with their presence in the past, but I cannot see any political leaders taking this song contest seriously now. Far from being full of melodies, the air above Belarus rings with the sound of military maneuvers. Ukraine is ready for any attack from its northern neighbor. Now that Lukashenko is singing in unison with Putin, that assault may happen soon. Meanwhile, on the Crimean Peninsula, war is being waged against a Ukrainian folk song called Hey Hey Rise Up, adapted by Pink Floyd, sans Roger Waters, and Ukrainian pop star turned soldier Andriy Klivnyk. Based on a 17th-century Cossack song, it was reworked in 1914 as Hey in the Meadow the Red Gelder Rose by composer and poet Stepan Charnetsky. It then became very popular among the Ukrainian rebels who fought against the Soviet regime both during the Civil War of 1918–21 and after the Second World War. Recently, Klivnyk and Pink Floyd's modern version has been heard with increasing frequency in Crimea, and the Russian authorities are desperate to silence it. In August, in the Crimean town of Cholkin, a scandal broke out in the Crab karaoke bar over another Ukrainian song, Wild Field, by rapper Yarmak. One of the clients ordered the song and sang it into the microphone, as is normal in a karaoke bar. But afterward, the DJ was detained for 10 days and the karaoke equipment was confiscated. The police also forced the owner of the bar, the DJ, and the client who sang the song to video record repentant messages. Wild Fields is an old Ukrainian Cossack name for the Donbass, and the song praises the way the Cossacks fought against their enemies. This scandal became a discussion topic on Central Russian TV, with propagandist Vladimir Solovyov calling for the Crab karaoke bar to be burned down, and the DJ and the singer to be imprisoned for 5 years each. A few weeks later, the karaoke bar closed. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.